The rushed and premature occupation of the South Street Court complex is creating havoc and increasing delays in the administration of justice. Prosecutors do not have an office inside the courts, and magistrates do not have telephone lines nor internet access. This creates a safety and security risk to magistrates, workers, and the general public. It is shocking that the F&M remains calm while the basic mechanics of the judicial system is falling apart. For example, prosecutors cannot find files due to chaos resulting from the order that magistrates move immediately to provide an item on the F&M's political checklist. Prosecutors are forced to work in their cars or in the old court complex. This unsafe situation makes them easy targets for theft, robbery, and assault. Additionally, files can easily go missing due to the lack of security. The lack of comprehensive strategic planning and this inattention to detail by this government is resulting in automatic adjournment of cases, creating even further delays. Too many Bahamians are suffering because of the inability of the government to bring resolution to serious matters before the courts. Justice delayed is justice denied. Stop being neglectful with the administration of justice to the detriment of Bahamians. Immediate attention should be brought to properly equipping the magistrate courts with essentials such as telephone lines and internet access, and to immediately provide a solution to the untenable circumstances under which the prosecutions are working. Our people deserve no less from their government. Thank you.
Okay, if you have any questions, Mr. Bell and Mr. Smith will be happy to answer.
If and when you inquired about these issues, what was the response you got?
Well, I inquired just as early as 5 minutes ago, and the response is that they're currently working on it. So I know they're in progress in trying to have all the phone and internet lines properly connected, and the other complaints, they indicated that they're addressing them.
So can you get you to turn around?
I keep looking at the camera. Sorry, so you're saying there's no prosecutor's office here?
No, they are forced to either work in their cars or in the old prosecution building, which is across the street.
Has any explanation been given for that? I mean, because I can see how that can, retard and cause a lot of frustration for a lot of issues.
Well,
and security, as you said.
Well, if I can tell you this much. Back some years ago, the initial plans of the building called for a prosecutor's office in that building. However, it was scrapped by this government. As I made understand, at the time I know I was in charge of police prosecutions, and they indicated that they needed more space. And their way of getting more space really was to take the prosecutor's office out of the building. But the reality is that it has actually created even greater obstacles, because when you look at how the space is being divided in there, granted that the courts may be bigger and a bit more modern, the capacity is just unfortunate, it's less. When you go in those courtrooms, you will see what I'm talking about in terms of the physical infrastructure alone. The lawyers inside there alone, for example, the space is cramped. The prisoner's dock, there is no entrance to get inside. So if the magistrate was to take someone in custody in the court, they have to actually go outside of the courtroom in order to gain access into the prisoner's dock. The magistrates, when they leave the bench, they have to go into the corridor, which means that it exposes them to security issues. And even in that, you will see that they have actually converted corridors into offices for even the chief magistrate's clerk.
Speaking about security, I'm a little bit concerned about where this is positioned, period. People going by, I mean, I don't want to incite anything, but it would seem like this could be if I were a criminal, perfect place to have a drive-by shooting for someone going in.
But there's no question about it. If you look right at the street out here, I mean, the entrance to the courthouse, it's facing the street. Anyone can actually pull up to the door. If you look at the number of persons that are hanging around the court, they're hanging around the light around the police station. Inside the court, there's inadequate space, and therefore you have some major security issues that's happening all around us.
Definitely.
Okay.
Are you concerned that this criticizing will come off as political at all?
Well, no. We're about putting our people first, and we feel the administration of justice is something that's important to all Bahamians. We feel that the administration of justice is something that's important to all Bahamians, so we're not at all concerned if it will come off as political.
And in addition to that, the fact of the matter is that magistrates and the clerks in those courts work very hard, and they ought to do it in a comfortable environment. We cannot, and I repeat, we cannot undermine the the type of work that the magistrates do and what they do, and we must accord them with that respect. The fact that they've moved into a building that is incomplete, it lacks the necessary equipment that they need to get the job, that means that it is an affront to criminal justice itself.
Now, obviously, magistrates have been complaining to
Of
your
course,
ears.
most
Are
definitely.
they complaining to others?
As a matter of fact, the magistrates, several magistrates just simply refused to have court on the dates when they were supposed to have court because the files were not there, the court was not ready, their office wasn't set up, the cabinets are all over the place, and as a matter of fact, on the second floor, there's several levels. The floor is uneven. That is the conditions under which we expect our courts to operate and function. That ought not to be, not in this day and time.